Hi everybody, my name is Sarah and this is a balance video, number 2 in a series of balance videos. So today you will need a mat and blocks, yoga blocks if you have them. So let me start by just saying some of the benefits of balance poses in yoga, which I talked about last time. It increases your proprioception, which is the ability to feel what your body is doing and where it is in space and time. And of course, it also helps you if you're prone to falling. So as we age, and we're all aging, you might have a tendency to lose your balance from time to time. So it's always great to practice balance. So some of the tips that I gave last time, I'm going to repeat again today. Number 1 is that you want to always ground your feet first. Find that stability in your feet when you're doing standing balance poses. You also want to find a focal point. Fix your gaze, preferably something right in front of you. You don't want to look up or down or to the side. Find a focal point first. Take your time. So don't try to rush into doing a balance pose. That always gets you off balance. Get support if you need it, so move to a wall, grab a chair, and steady your breath. Okay, so we're going to start in Tadasana, mountain pose. So bring your feet about hip distance apart. And then take a look down at your feet. I like to do balance poses without socks on, and you should be able to grab your mat with your toes. So you can actually just lift up your toes, spread them apart as far as you can, like you would do your fingers like this. Sometimes they don't move very much. And then bring them down on your mat one at a time, starting with your pinky toe. And see if that helps you just grab your mat a little bit, a sticky yoga mat. And do that again, lift them up. And then one at a time, starting with your pinky toe, bring them back down, grabbing your mat. Nice. And then from here, just take a moment to feel that steadiness, that grounding of your feet into the earth, into your mat. Stand up nice and tall. Close your eyes for a moment and center your breath, being aware of your inhales and aware of your exhales. And then just notice, as you were standing there, did you have a tendency to lean to one side or the other? You can even go to a mirror sometime and just notice your posture. Do you have a tendency to kind of lean onto one hip or the other? Just being aware of how balanced your body is in space. All right, now we're going to move into our first pose, which is just come up onto your toes. So when you spread your toes apart there, you should have a little bit of space between them. You should be able to grip the mat. And from here, we're going to take an inhale and lift up on the toes. Nice. So again, as I said, take your time. If you need support here, you could have a chair in front of you. You could come to a wall. And then release that down. We're going to do that again. This time we're going to inhale the arms up. So spread your toes, grab the mat, inhale your arms up, lifting up on the toes. Bring your palms together. Drop all your fingers except for your index fingers. Tall spine. Beautiful. Release that down, letting your heels drop down. Release your arms. You want to try that one more time? Let's do it one more time. Okay, spreading your toes. Grip the mat. Inhale, lift up. Nice. Bringing your palms together. So lots of energy coming from your toes all the way up through your fingertips. Beautiful. Release that down. Nice. And then just kind of shake it up. Sometimes when we do balance, we get tensed up, so we want to kind of relax in between. All right, next we're going to do figurehead. So I'm going to turn sideways so you can see this here. Again, if you need to get a chair or a wall for support, feel free to do that. We're going to start with all the weight on, let's see, let's turn this way, left leg. And then you're going to bend your right leg, bringing your leg behind you. See if you can grab that foot with your right hand. And then hold onto the outside of your right toes with that hand. Bring your left hand around and see if you can grab your big toe here. So we're going to keep the knee pointed towards the floor. Now, if you're using a support here, you could have one hand on a chair or the wall. And then see if you can just, if you're not using, well, even if you are, open your heart, your chest, lift your head up nice and tall, and maybe pull that foot a little bit closer to your bottom. This is called figurehead because it looks a little bit like the woman on the ship, I guess. And then slowly release it down, shake it out, and we'll do the other side. The other thing about balance is sometimes you do great on one side and then you have problems on the other side. So let's just try this side. So ground your weight in both feet first. Take your time, find a focal point, bend that left leg, grab onto it somewhere. See if you can find the outer edge of your left toes with your left hand. Bring that right hand around, grabbing onto your big toe, keeping your knee pointed down. Open your heart. Find a focal point. Lots to think about here, right? Most of all, breathe. Keep your breath steady. Beautiful. And then we'll release that down. Shake it out a little bit. Okay, from here we're going to get down onto the floor and into a tabletop position. So bringing your wrists under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. And just take a moment to ground here also. So grounding your weight evenly in both hands, spread your fingers wide, and then evenly in both legs, knees. And then I like to keep the neck long here. So we're going to start by taking the left leg back behind you. And then take your right arm and reach it out in front, balancing here. Keep breathing. We're going to add on to this by bending the knee and the elbow and touching them underneath your body, and then extend that. And we'll do that 3 times. That was 1, 2, move slowly with intention, and 3. And then hold it here. And release both arm and leg. I don't really have enough room here. And then circle your shoulders and your hips just to kind of release tension you might have created. I'm going to turn around this way for this side. So before we move to the other side, balance everything again. Spreading your fingers wide, evening out the weight on your knees and legs. And then you're going to take that right leg back. If you can, you want to try to keep your hips even here. I was having a hard time because I didn't have enough room here. So straightening that leg, find your balance, bring the left arm out. Beautiful. And then we'll add that movement to it. So bending knee and elbow, tap and extend, move slowly with intention. 2, tap, extend, and 1 more. Tap, extend, and hold it here, and release that down. Nice, and then just kind of roll it out. Little movement. All right, we're going to come all the way up onto your knees. and move into Heaven's Gate pose. So take your right leg out to the side. And you can have your knee and your toes should be lined up. So if you have your toes pointing out to the side, you want your knee to follow it. You could also turn it this way if that's more comfortable for you. Just see what feels best. Bring your left hand down onto the mat. And then inhale your right arm up. And then we're going to lift that right leg here. Finding your balance. So again, find a focal point. And then we'll add onto that here, tapping up and down. Keep breathing. Beautiful. And then we're going to keep that right leg lifted. Bend your right knee, and then take your right hand and see if you can hold onto that right leg. Open your heart here, maybe looking up to the right. Beautiful. And then release that down. Come back up to center. And let's just roll the shoulders here. Nice. All right, let's do the other side. So let's see if I have room here. I'm going to take the left leg out to the side. Bring your right hand down. Inhale your left arm up. And then bring that left foot up. And then tap it up and down. Keep breathing. Make sure you don't hold your breath here. Beautiful. Keep that left leg lifted. And then bend your left knee. Maybe reach around and grab that foot, opening your heart here. Beautiful. Release that down. Come back up onto your knees. Shake out your wrists. Give everything a little shake. Beautiful. All right, we're going to come back up to standing to mountain pose. Tadasana. So remember that tip of grounding your feet. So let's lift up the toes again. Spread them apart. Bring them back down onto the mat one at a time. You want your legs to be and your feet to be about hip distance apart. Okay, we're going to move in a series of 3 poses. So we're going to move from mountain pose to chair to tree. So starting in mountain pose, think about long spine, stand up nice and tall. Beautiful. From here, we're going to inhale the arms up. And then exhale, sink your hips back like you're going to sit into a chair behind you. Beautiful. And then inhale up. And as you inhale up, we're going to move into tree, taking all the weight on the left leg. Right foot comes either on the floor here or onto your calf or all the way up. Bringing your hands to heart center, and then grow your tree. All right, we're going to put all that together and do it a couple of times. Mountain pose. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sit into the chair. Inhale, up. Exhale, bring the leg out for tree. Inhale, arms to heart center. Exhale, grow your tree. Inhale, release it down. Mountain pose. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sink into chair. Inhale, back up. Exhale, tree. Inhale, grow. Exhale, release. Beautiful. Just shake that out and then we'll move to the other side. So we started on the left leg. So now you're going to start, when you do tree, to move everything to the right side. So starting in tree, find your grounding in your feet. Stand up nice and tall. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sink into chair. Inhale, back up. Exhale, find tree. Inhale, grow your tree. Exhale, release it down, mountain pose. Inhale up. Exhale, sink into chair. Inhale, back up. Exhale, tree. Inhale, grow your tree. Exhale, bring it back down. Beautiful. All right. Nice. How'd you do with that? Okay, let's move into some lunges. So this is where the blocks come in. You're going to come back down onto the floor, grabbing your blocks, and then bring your left foot up between your hands. And you can adjust here where your back knee is or your front foot. From here, we're going to tuck the back toes and then straighten that back leg. So coming all the way up. And then we're going to take that back knee, right knee, and bring it towards the floor and then lift it up again. So we're going to lower and lift, lower and lift. Beautiful. Let's try that without the blocks. Bringing your hands onto the floor and then lift, lower, lift, lower. Beautiful. All right, we're just kind of warming up here. So we're going to move from a low lunge into a high lunge here. So this is where the blocks come in handy if you're still working on your balance. So tucking your right toes again, you're going to lift up and then bring your whole body up, keeping that left leg bent. And start by just bringing your hands to your hips. And then inhaling them all the way up. All right, we're going to practice that again. So come all the way back down, dropping that back knee. And then pressing your hands into your blocks. You're going to lift the back leg, find your balance, and inhale all the way up. See if you can lift your arms this time. So front leg is bent, back leg is straight. With your heel pressing back. Beautiful. Dropping back down. Let's try that again. So tuck your right toes. Start to straighten that back leg. Find your balance. Inhale all the way up. Beautiful. And release your arms back down, and we're going to come to the other side here. So take that leg, left leg back, and just kind of shake it out. And we'll shake the right leg out too. All right, so we're going to bring the right foot up between the hands. Each side's different, remember, so take your time, ground that front foot, ground your back leg, and then you're going to tuck the back toes and just straighten that leg, staying low at first, and then bend your left knee and straighten, bend, straighten, a couple more times. Nice. All right, release that back leg down. Pause here. All right, we're going to come all the way up. You ready for that? Tuck your back toes. This time, on the first one, we'll just bring the hands to the hips. And then start to straighten that back leg. Find your balance. Bring your hands to your hip. Nice. And then when you're ready, inhale your arms up. Release your arms back down. Come all the way down. We're going to do that again a couple more times. Okay, so tucking your back toes, hold onto your blocks, straighten that leg, take your time, inhale your arms up. And if you're a little unsteady here like I am, that's totally normal. Release your arms back down, and we'll do it a couple more times. I know you're getting better at this, right? So tuck your left toes, straighten that back leg. When you're ready, inhale your arms up. Nice. Beautiful. Exhale back down. Release that back leg. One more time. Tuck your left toes. Find a focal point. Take your time. Straighten the back leg. Inhale, arms up. Nice. Beautiful. Release that back down. Release both legs, and let's just find a little child's pose here to give ourselves a break before we move on to the next set. Just take your arms out in front. You can spread your knees wide. Find a place for your head to rest. Just find a little rock here in your body, a little movement. Come back to your breath again. Steady your breath. Nice. All right. Release that. Begin to lift up. We're going to move into another set here where we move from warrior 2 to warrior 3 to standing splits. So this is a little bit more challenging. Remember, you can grab a chair or the wall if that's helpful. So we'll start in warrior 2. You might want to have your blocks nearby in case you need to grab onto them. So starting with the left foot in front, bring your right leg back. Kind of at an angle. Take your time to set yourself up. Remember, we're grounding your feet. So you're going to ground weight into the front leg and then the back leg. So the left leg is bending, back leg is straight. And then when you're ready, bring your arms up. And you can either look out to the side or you can look forward. There's no real right or wrong here. Beautiful. From here, we're going to move straight into warrior 3. So you're going to take the weight onto your left leg. Lift your right leg behind you. Bring your arms out in front. Now another version of this would be to take your arms to cactus arms or take them behind you. And this is where you could be steadying yourself at a wall, or you could hold onto a chair here. Make sure you're breathing. Beautiful. I'm going to come back down so we can do that again before we move on to the third one. The third one is to move from warrior 3 into a standing split. So let's just try that one more time. So finding warrior 2. Beautiful. And then bring all the way down to that left leg. Lift yourself up. Taking that right leg behind, keeping your hips steady. You can have your arms in front, behind you, cactus arms. And then slowly bring your hands down to the floor or to a block and lift your right leg up in the air. Bring your forehead towards your knee. Standing splits. Beautiful. And then release that right leg down. Come up and shake it out. All right, we're going to move through that whole sequence one more time on that side before we move to the other side. Okay, so bring your left leg forward, right leg back, finding warrior 2. Find your breath. Take your time. Moving into warrior three, lifting that right leg up, straight behind you, and then dropping into standing splits, bringing your forehead towards your knee. Beautiful. Release the right leg down and shake it out. Okay. We'll do the other side. So this time bringing the right foot forward, back, left leg back, warrior two on the right leg. Take your time. Find your focal point. So to get up into warrior three from here, you kind of have to really press weight into the front foot. So let's try that now. Pressing the weight up, find your balance, bring that left leg back. Breathe. And then coming into standing splits. And release the left leg down. And come all the way. Now one thing I did in that some of you might be doing too is I realized that as I move forward, my front foot lost some of its stability. So I ended up turning my leg to the side. So if that's happening to you, you probably want to stop and ground that foot again. I should have done that. Because when you get that leg that you're balancing on and it's not stable, you're going to fall out of the pose. Another thing that might be helpful, for me anyways, I might try grabbing a block. So I'm going to put my blocks up here just to have them close by, handy for that. So let's try that again. And you always find that one leg is a little bit weaker, or one side is a little weaker than the other. So finding warrior two. Steady your gaze, steady your breath. Press up into that right foot. Keep that right foot stable, and then come into warrior three. Well, I guess it didn't really help to have a block here to do that, did it? What might help though for me is to bring my arms back. Keep breathing. And then begin to move into that standing splits. Now the blocks do come in handy here. Keep lifting that back leg. And then slowly release your left leg down. And shake it out. All right. For our last one, we're going to move into half moon. So this is where I am going to use a block for this. This is also a fun pose to do leaning against the wall. If I can, I'll show you how to do that. Actually, maybe I'll start at the wall. So we'll start with the left side. And I'm going to put the block right down here. So you're going to be standing next, if you're doing it against a wall, standing next to the wall. All the weight's going to come on that left leg. Remember to ground your left foot. And then I'm just going to lean forward, find my block, and then kind of lean against the wall, and then pick up that right leg and the right arm. So see, I've got the wall to support me back here, and I can just kind of lean against it. Nice. All right, let's try the right side, and then we'll move away from the wall. If you want to try it, you don't have to. So I'm just going to switch to where my right hip is against the wall, right block against the wall. And then I'm going to lean down, grab that right hand onto the right block, make sure your right foot is grounded, and then lift up your left leg, your left arm. So you're kind of making a plane, sort of, with the wall. And it's nice to be able to have that feeling, to know what it should feel like to be balancing. Beautiful. All right, let's try it away from the wall. You can do this. All right, we're going to start with the left side again. So just kind of leaning over, grabbing that block with your left hand, and then bringing your right leg up. Right arm comes up. You're stacking your right hip on top of your left. And if you feel okay here, you can start to look up. I'm not feeling brave enough to do that today, so I'm just going to stay right here. Beautiful. And then slowly release that right leg down. Right arm, come all the way up. And again, we want to kind of shake it out here. And forget that side. We're moving on to another side. Okay, so now I'm going to place the block. You don't have to use a block if you're feeling like, oh, this is easy, or I got this, you know. Just put your hand on the floor. Okay, so grounding your right foot. Remember, always starting with the feet. Grounding the feet first. Bring your right hand to the floor or to the block. When you're ready, lift the left leg up. And the left arm. And then maybe look up towards your left hand. Beautiful. And then slowly release that left arm, or left leg down and the left arm, and shake it out. That side was harder for me, which probably means I don't have as much strength in my left leg. I'm not sure. Anyway, so before we end, let's come down into a little child's pose. So just bringing your big toes together, allowing your hips to sink towards your heels. Relax your head somewhere. And just begin to notice your breath. Allowing the back of your body to rise and fall as you breathe. Letting go. Relaxing just a little bit more. And then slowly release that. Coming up. All right, let me just reiterate what some of those tips are for balancing. First of all, you want to ground your feet, or if you're doing some balancing where you're on your hands and knees, you also want to ground your hands. So it's also, I think it's helpful to spread your fingers wide, or if you're standing, spread your toes wide. You want to find a focal point, your drishti point, so fix your gaze, keeping your head up and forward if you're standing, and if you're on your hands and knees, you want to keep your neck long instead of cranking your neck up or bringing it all the way down. So keeping your spine nice and long. You want to take your time, so don't rush into balance poses. Get support if you need it, so grab onto a chair, you can grab onto the wall. It's really lovely to do the half moon pose against the wall. And then steady your breath. So trying to find a nice even breath as you're in the pose. That's going to help relax you and kind of letting go of that worrying, am I going to fall over, etc. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for joining me. And I look forward to seeing you in the studio. Let me end with a little chime here. Let's just all take another breath together by inhaling your arms up, exhaling to the heart. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste. Have a great day.